Welcome to another tutorial. In this tutorial we will see the rounded flare. Let's select it, then select camera, then select your light source. Remember, if you have more than one light source you can select all of them. We can try to do it right now just to make something different. Here is another light source, so I select both of two lights with shift click, okay, and then I add my rounded flare. So go to render view here, and here are two rounded flare. I can move one source or the other source, or I can move the camera, okay. But for this moment I just want to talk about one flare because two is too much. So maybe I can delete this one. In this way, with the minus symbol, I can delete it. Are you sure? Yes, I'm sure. Okay, this is our flare. As you can see, it's a very complex flare. There are a lot of different forms inside it. And let's start taking a look at these values. Focal length, we know this is something that changes the distances and the dimension of all the elements. It's not a real value, but it may be useful in some kind of scene, very big scale scene or lower scale scene. I can take it at 1 at this moment, and here is a global scale. That is something different because it changes all the dimension of all the elements without moving them in the space as the focal length was doing. So global scale, they are moving the space too a little but it's different, okay. You can use this value with your keyframes to simulate a zoom in or a zoom out effect if you want. We will see in another tutorial how to do it. So global scale at 1 is too much, sorry, I want it at 0. The global emission is the light emitted by all these elements, so if I turn it on, the flare became brighter. Maybe I can force this value more than 1, so I can just dig it 5, and this is 5, but I at the moment want it to 0. This is our global color if you want to change the coloring of our flare. So let's try another color and let's move the global color influence. This way we change the color of the flare, maybe accordingly to a light source that we have in our scene, for example. The glow scale changes the dimension of the light source and the glow outside of it. So here is the glow dimension that can be very big or littler, okay. This is the emission of the glow that changes the power of the light of the glow. Then there is the streak scale. The streak is an effect that it's like an horizontal line crossing the sun on the lens. Now it's not visible, but if I turn up the light, okay, so 2, maybe 5 is more visible, okay, and then I can change the scale, very little or very big streak, okay. Then we have the sunbeam scale, that is the scale of these sunbeams. So I can make them bigger, so they are very big, or very little, okay. I can change the number of the sunbeam, as we see in the other flares. A few sunbeams, big but few, or little but a lot of sunbeams. Okay. Remember that all these elements are created in the 3D space, so if you move the camera, they move. The sunbeams move a little around your scene, and they are out of the space. They are not inside the screen space. So there are sunbeams also when the sun is out of our screen space. That is very good. Then we have the emission of the sunbeams. Okay. Accordingly to the sunbeams, it changes also the emission of this hoop. Is sunbeams related? Okay. Then we have the ghost scale. This is the ghost scale. We can change the scale of all the projected ghosts. And this is the ghost number. We can have a few ghosts to make a simple effect of flaring, or we can have a lot of ghosts here. And then we can change the emission of the light of the ghosts. Maybe we want them just to appear, okay? Or we want them very, very bright, like this. And then, as usual, we have the dirt amount on the lens. Very, very dirty, or no dirt at all. Maybe we don't want a dirt lens. The last parameter is the obstacle occlusion that simulates when the flare goes behind an object. So it disappears like this, then it appears again, then disappears, appears again. We will move this parameter using keyframes, but there is another tutorial that shows this. So thank you for watching.